Contact of extraterrestrials. Has it already happened? And they are not telling us about it? And maybe, is this the way that they're going to tell us about it? Through articles, hypothesizing that contact could be made, and if it's made, was the message or signal sent out with the wrong intention, or was it perceived in the wrong way? There is a lot of talk about extraterrestrial contact, and they have been talking about it for years. I would not be surprised if there are extraterrestrials or interdimensional beings walking among us. And if there are, what are their intentions? So let me come over here, you all. Hello. Let me put this on the live chat. We got it going right there. Hello, Al Sanchez, you all. So thank you all for coming on here, because this article was just written a few days ago, and I just happened upon it just now. I'm going to pull this up right here so I can see the comments. Can you hear me? This is great. Okay, so let's look at this, you all. They're telling us from the Nautilus right here. This is where it's written, from the Nautilus. We better think twice about what we say to ET. Extraterrestrials could take our intergalactic message in entirely the wrong way. I want to look at this article. I've only read maybe one paragraph of it, but it seems pretty interesting, you all. It really does. Let's see this. What do they got going on with this? Let me get these glasses out of the way. Parents around the world tell their children to be careful about speaking to strangers, and it's good advice for our innocent offspring. Because even if the risk of a dangerous interaction is very small, the consequences could be great. Yet when it comes to the idea of sending unsolicited messages out into the cosmos to try to get a response from technological alien life, yes, they said technological alien life, we seem to forget that these sensible domestic rules. That goes for everything from the earliest messages that were beamed into space to one outlined last month. There was a message that was outlined last month. You all look at this. They sent out a message. I heard nothing of this, you all. Let's look at this. You don't talk to strangers, okay? That's what they say. But then that goes for everything from the earliest messages beamed into space to the one outlined last month by a group of researchers from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory at Caltech and several international organizations. Each could spark consequences beyond our control. So did you all hear about it? Because I didn't hear about it. I did not hear about this, you all, but we're going to see it really fast because I want to know what they said. I really do. As a case in point, the first deliberate high-powered radio message sent by humanity to another world lacked any semblance of careful thought or any poetry. It consisted of the Morse code dots and dashes for 3 words, MIR, Lenin, and USSR. MIR means peace or world. The other 2 words need little explanation. Yeah, this is strange. So the cryptic transmission was beamed into the cosmos on November 1962 from the Pluton complex in Crimea. Crimea, you all. By a planetary radar made from 16-meter wide radio dishes mounted on a structure built out of railway bridge trusses and the hulls of a pair of repurposed Soviet submarines, a brutalist architect's delight. The message was used to produce a radar echo from the planet Venus, but decades later, scientists realized that the eventual lucky recipient of this pronouncement is a star. Oh my gosh. A star some 2,100 light years away, and therefore not yet aware of its role in human history. So, I guess this is what it looked like. The act of transmitting this message from the Arecibo Radio Observatory was a bit of a throwaway stunt. Constructing the message, on the other hand, took some clever thinking. It's a string of 1,679 bits of clearly non-random, attention-provoking data that could be displayed as an image, which wasn't actually colorized, depicting items like the decimal number system, life's elemental constituents, the shape of DNA, and a few other tidbits about the human form and the architecture of our solar system. So, that why they say Tetris, you all? Why did they say it? Hello, O'Rider. I just happened on this. So, the oddly parochial nature of this first step in the extraterrestrial messaging was not without precedent, or so very different from efforts that followed it. For instance, there is a famous, they say there's a famous but probably apocryphal anecdote about how in 1820 the physicist Carl Friedrich Gauss proposed sending signals to other worlds by creating a vast representation of the Pythagorean theorem of right-angled triangles carved into the Siberian tundra and outlined with pine forest. Gauss may or may not have suggested this, but having invented the heliotrope for reflecting sunlight over great distances, he did write German astronomer Heinrich Olbers in 1822 about building a huge heliotrope array of hundreds of mirrors to message our neighbors on the moon. Do we have neighbors on the moon, you all? Why would they write something like that about back in 1822 on the moon? That would be very interesting. Let's look at this. In the late 1800s, the French inventor Charles Cros also thought about mirrors for signaling Mars or Venus, except his idea was to use these to focus sunlight and burn. He wanted to focus sunlight and to burn features onto the desert zones. Oh my gosh. You got this, you all? They're just telling what they did. They took their mirrors to focus sunlight and to burn features onto the desert zones of those worlds. Possibly the most aggressive notion of extraterrestrial messaging thus far envisioned. And to be fair, Cros had a special kind of creative mind, as demonstrated by his proclivity for writing poems such as Kippered Herring, presaging the absurdist antics of Monty Python. So they're saying that they would burn features onto desert zones. If they could burn features onto desert zones, other planet, what's to stop them for burning features on our planet? Okay, really, what would stop them from making designs and stuff that could be seen from overhead? I don't think anything would stop them if they have the technology to do it. I really don't. Let's put this back to this. So I think this is a good question. Should any one group of humans be speaking on behalf of the entire species? I don't think so. They probably try to have a representative from each area. So by the 1970s, our vastly improved knowledge about the universe and our increasingly complex technology led to more sophistication. Most famously, in 1974, Arecibo Radio Observatory in Puerto Rico, that could also transmit as a planetary radar, sent a demonstration message toward a globular cluster of stars about 25,000 light years away, and the act of transmission itself was a bit of a throwaway stunt. The more interesting and rigorous work went into the constructing the message. 1,679 bits of clearly non-random, attention-provoking data, Okay, we saw that. So they wanted to ping. They wanted to ping an alien species to get notice. Well, that's not very good. So look at this. A beacon in the galaxy. That's what they want. An updated binary code message that could be transmitted toward a star cluster nearer the Milky Way center to increase the reach of the signal to potentially habitable systems. They used images of 128 by 128 pixels, compact enough to transmit efficiently, but large enough to depict a wealth of information from our location details to mathematical proofs, biological data, particle physics, and so on. Did somebody say that somebody sent some not too appropriate pictures out into space? Did somebody say that? I thought I read that somewhere. So they've got this sentiment echoing. I don't know. So this is I wanted to read this one thing, you all. Stephen Hawking felt that the biggest concern is not appearing aggressive, but in attracting aggression. He questioned whether making our presence known isn't just an invitation for any roaming interstellar species on the lookout for resources to show up ready to consume and conquer. A 2017 paper by Peter Todd and Jeffrey Miller analyzed the possible evolution of an extraterrestrial psychologies and concluded that sending out hopeful messages to ET is basically announcing that you live somewhere without competition, in effect saying, here is a delectable treat, a home world with valuable and easy to acquire resources lightly guarded by gullible young species. Oh, that's probably what they think if they come here and looking for that, you all. This is a strange one. Let's look at this right here, if that's all right. Hello there, Apperbrooks. So, look, ideals can be dangerous, especially meme-like ideals that spread contagiously. That sentiment can seem a little off base, though. After all, resources like water and metals are abundant in the cosmos. You'd hardly need to raid an inconvenient little planet for any of these things. Maybe, though, there are more precious but harder to quantify resources in planetary habitability, and the wealth of novelty produced by billions of natural selection and evolution. These things could be worth trapeizing between the stars for. I know I didn't say it right, you all. These words, I've never seen them before, so I try to say them. This is really strange. I've never heard of this one before. The science fiction author Liu Cixin, writing in his trilogy, The Three-Body Problem. The danger comes from the dark force hypothesis. That sounds pretty dark if you ask me. A dark force hypothesis. This posits that all species want to survive, and if they succeed, they will continuously expand. But our galaxy has finite usable spaces and resources, and it's impossible to obtain real-time knowledge about other species due to the limit of the speed of light. And everyone is intent on their own survival and must assume that by the time they learn of aliens, those aliens may have already developed more capable technology and greater ambitions. This is where it's going to get interesting. Consequently, the most logical and prudent course of action is to remain silent and try to eliminate any other species that you learn of before they eliminate you, or before they evolve to a level where they can eliminate you. In other words, keep your head down in the forest or else. So these are all pretty grim assessments, but there are also hazards from the mere act of communication. In the Nautilus, the potential for transmitted information to destabilize and perhaps even destroy a civilization, whether intentionally or unintentionally. That's so we could be destabilized, the whole entire civilization, intentionally or unintentionally, if just the mere act of communication with another species. The ideas can be dangerous, especially meme-like ideas that spread contagiously and could, in principle, be weaponized to destroy just as effectively as a massive fleet of spacecraft. Why would they say that? Ideas can be dangerous, especially meme-like ideas that spread contagiously and could, in principle, be weaponized to destroy just as effectively as a massive fleet of spacecraft. That's really strange. All of this. Nonetheless, the astronomers, let's see this, you all. SETI expert Jason Wright pointed out that we tend to fall prey to a monocultural fallacy in thinking about alien civilizations when we assume that decisions and actions will be made as one. Clearly, that is not true for humans, and messages have gone barreling out into the cosmos because a few people have decided to send them, and the rest of our species simply hasn't cared to notice. So they have sent messages out, and the rest of our species haven't cared to notice. Well, perhaps they did not blast it on the TV stations. Okay, they probably didn't blast it on the TV stations and drill it into us day after day after day. Perhaps if they did, we probably would know that, hey, they sent a message out into space. Probably would. If there is any characteristic that is more likely to apply to alien species, it may be well this same one. Whoever messages us or hears us could easily be a few specialists or obsessives who may or may not have influence over their own civilization. So let's see. In the end, the most decisive factor lies in the stratification of time. Due to the light's finite speed. That means that all decisions to do with ET, whoever's ETs those are, will be based on the extrapolation from information that gets more and more outdated with distance. You may just have, oopsie, what happened? So you may just have picked up the hello world signal from a distant star, but by now that species could be a bomb-wielding interstellar terror or have been rendered harmless by extinction. I don't like the way this is written. I'm trying to really figure out, if you look at the first part of this paragraph right here, if you look up here, the most decisive factor lies in the stratification. Okay, you know what a strategy is you plan out the stratification of time due to light's finite speed. So if you sent it out at a certain period in history, knowing how many light years it would take to get to wherever you were sending it, that would be a strategy. And then by the time it reached it, then you know that message would come back at that particular time, or you would hope it would come back. So they sent out this signal. Let's see this. I keep doing the wrong thing. I keep clicking in the wrong thing. So whoever ETs these are. So let's look at this. So if you return a message, you simply don't know what state the recipient will be in when it receives it, or the state you will be in if you get a conversational reply, because it was so many light years away. But that isn't just a problem for distance of hundreds of years. Hundreds of light years, even a few light years will make a difference. Just consider our own changing conditions between the middle of 2019 and 2022. Yeah, okay. Or between 1938 and 1945. Just like our parental admonition to never talk to strangers, we should think carefully about talking to species when we can't talk to them in any temporary fixed way. or know how our future selves will deal with this. The Soviet researchers who sent the Mir-Lenin USSR off into the galaxy could not have known what was coming down the line for their way of life. Perhaps the real risk of messaging extraterrestrials is that no one will ever get to have the conversation they'd like. So, what if they did know? What if they did know what would happen? What if they time traveled, you all? What if they time traveled and they knew what was coming? What if they did have the ability to do that? I don't think that's too far-fetched. And why would you write an article right now? Why would you see an article like this right now? Why weren't you talking about extraterrestrials back in 2019? Really, why weren't they? And you know, let's think about this. It was May the 20. Let's read this again for those who may not have heard it. Let me point this to me. For those of you who may not have heard, but there was a time traveler. There was a time traveler that came on the scene and said that something would happen in May the 24th of 2022 concerning aliens. And then the time traveler said that in the fall there was going to be, they're going to come out or something. So let's look at that for those of you who have not, because I have not forgot about that, and I'm not going to forget about that. I want you all to see it. Because it was really strange. Okay, let's look at this, you all. Come on, we're going to read it. So, let's see this. So let's look at this, you all. See, this is right here. A man who claims to be a time traveler sets off alarms after announcing the date when the aliens would invade Earth. Now, Gina, honey, you don't think that he's being serious. Well, I think it's kind of very odd. You see in this article written that we just got through reading about contact with aliens, and now you have this time traveler who they put on the scene back in whenever he showed up. I can't remember when he showed up, but let's look at this, you all. This is really, so a man claiming to be a time traveler predicts that 2022 will be the year the aliens will invade the Earth. It was on TikTok. It was on TikTok, so we're going to see it. I hope they got the thing in here. This group of aliens, oh, somebody wrote this. Okay, let's see this. Oh, wait, I want to see this. Let me see. What is that? So they're gonna, I don't want to show that because I could get myself in trouble, trouble. No, I'm not going to read there. I'm not going to use that as a visual, you all. I won't. I'm going to come right here to something else, okay? Well, I can't do that either. You've got to be so careful when you're on here. What you use, you really do. So let me just do this. So I can do this. I think this might be strange claim of time travelers. There will be war with aliens in the year of 2022. Okay, this is December the 31st. Well, great. You got it at the end of the year going into the new year. Yeah. So let's look at this, you all. So from Baba Vanga to Nostradamus, claims are being made about the year 2022. Now people who describe themselves as a time traveler has joined in the race. In the time traveler, he says there could be war with the aliens in the new year. So London. So from the year 2022, I never even heard of the Baba Vanga to Nostradamus. Okay, I haven't. So this is the one right here. Let's look at this. So the time warp describes himself as a time traveler right here. He said that on February the 2nd, the city of Atlantis will be discovered in the Atlantic Ocean, which is the home of the first human fish life. He also said that in this month, a celebrity would come forward and admit that he made the world with an owl, made the world an owl with his death, whatever that meant. At the same time, this TikTok user, future time traveler, said that there will be many catastrophic events in the year 2022. I'm trying to find the one about that one time traveler. Okay. This time traveler claims that giant aliens will invade the earth and fight with humanity. These monster-like creatures will be 7 feet long and will be dark brown in color, whatever you call aliens, and they will appear on the earth in the year 2022. It is the exact day could be the 24th of May of 2022. Okay. And then they say, another alleged time traveler say that a massive volcano will explode and kill a large number of people. So the May the 24th of 2022, that's coming 17 days. In 17 days, so just a little over 2 weeks, we'll see if we see the aliens come on May the 24th. Okay, we'll see if we do. And I'm keeping track of this because there's so many people who like to make prophecies and say things. So they really do, you all. I wish we could find the exact time traveler thing. We're doomed if we pick the wrong timeline. That's right. Let's look at this time traveler. Let me do the TikTok, the actual TikTok thing, because I wanted to see it, you all. I really do. If they can pull that up. I had it marked, but I can't see it now, you all. Why can't I see it? The celebrity going to be Elvis, and he's going to do something. Oh, yeah, so let's see this. So aliens are to arrive on Earth. He came from 2714, the year 2714. The little green men from outer space. Okay. I am a real-time traveler from the year 2714. Something amazing happens on August the 11th of 2021. So, okay, there will be a very large meteor shower, last for 2 weeks. I don't know what any of this stuff is, you all. I don't. See, this stuff is something going to have a war break out. What will happen? It will lead to a war that breaks out in 2025. These things like this. Well, we haven't found Atlantis yet, you all. We have not found Atlantis. Unless it pops up out of the ocean. The TikToker have made another wild prediction, including Atlantis will be found in the year 2022, and aliens will infiltrate the world's governments by 2023. Now, I do believe that. I really do. Aliens will infiltrate the world's governments by 2023. Well, you could actually probably call them interdimensional beings. Okay, you could. Now, that could very well be true. It could probably be happen. And the colonization of Mars will begin in 2028. So look at this. Nothing he said has come true. Tell us something legitimate. How about this guy shows us what he looks like? So look at this. So the Perseid meteor shower. Okay. So we'll see if that happens, you all. So as we get close to that date, I want to come back there. I want to come back here on that date if something doesn't happen and see if there is something that happens. Because there's been many, many prophecies and nothing happens. But that one right there has stuck in my mind. It really has, to see what will go on. That's right. That's right, you all. All of that right there. So, yeah, this is pretty neat to see this like that. We better think twice about what we say to ETs. Extraterrestrials could take our intergalactic messages the wrong way. The wrong way. And that was on May the 4th of 2022. So why would they write that? That's really a question to ask. A hook in the jaw. The meteor shower coming. Well, Al, honey, I don't even know when it's coming. I don't. Chances are it's not going to be a meteor shower. Chances are it won't be a meteor shower, but it'd probably be spaceships. landing on Earth, these ships landing on Earth. It'd probably be something like that, is what I think. Yeah. This is, so we're supposed to have 7-foot aliens will land on Earth in May of 2022. Okay. And they claim that their arrival would lead to an interdimensional war with the U.S. Well, this interdimensional war, we talked about this in the Wiki fandom. We did. They said that this would be the first interdimensional war that was fought against the U.S. because other countries invited in the interdimensional beings to wage war. Okay, that's what I heard. So I hadn't really heard this. I don't think I remember them saying an interdimensional war with the U.S. And the text in the video wildly claims that aliens will make their first appearance on Earth next year. The exact date is May the 24th of 2022. And from my time, there are many different aliens, and they actually live on Earth, citizens. And according to the predictions, the U.S. will attack the aliens, starting an interdimensional war. So this is strange. I guess we'll see, you all. Do not rule out an extraterrestrial or perhaps even an extra-dimensional origin for the encounters. So we'll see. I kind of need to mark that. Maybe I could mark it, just to have it. Now, see, some people may not want to hear this, but I want to keep a tap on it. I do. Let's put this right here. So I'm going to put this here so you can see it. You may not have seen this article, but I will put it in here. Boom. Just like that is where I want to put it. So I am going to go. I think I've talked about this subject long enough. I have. Yes. You're going to get your barbecue going? Yes. I'm going to be going, you all, and I want to thank you for tuning in tonight. So with that being said, hello wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. And we'll see. Think it's like... how many days away was it again, you all? I'm already forgetting. 14 days? No, it's not 14 days away. Surely it's not. It could be 14 days away. And we'll see what happens. Yeah, you're so very welcome. Thank you all. Have a wonderful evening. Love you.